Welcome to the Matrix Reveal, y'all. We got a deep one here. Because when it comes to this political game and this political rhetoric, some of these people, they have no shame. And they will just flat out lie to you. Now, I know many of you have seen this video. It's been circling around the internet. It's been circulating around social media of Representative Jasmine Crockett and Representative Eric Swalwell getting in front of the camera and telling you that the Republicans voted to give Donald Trump the power to deport U.S. citizens. Now, before we fact check it, we're going to watch the video. So let's go ahead and watch the video.
And let me tell y'all what they just voted for. I want y'all to take a guess. Okay, y'all probably not going to guess it because it don't make sense. But if you think of the most ridiculous thing that they could do, okay, I know that that's really hard too because everything that they do is quite ridiculous. But literally, they just voted. They being the other ones, not us, because we were all on the right side of history. They just voted to give Trump the ability, legally, to give him the ability to deport U.S. citizens. That is what they voted for. A bunch of elected U.S. representatives. That is how they voted. Am I telling a lie, Eric, or no?
No, I got my salad here. Mouthful. No, I'm stunned.
I'm not. But I'm glad that you... Oh, okay. Well, Eric been here longer than me, but like...
So what we said was, we even said, you know what? Many of us will not offer any more amendments tonight. We won't vote for the overall bill. But if you agree to this, we'll drop any other amendments. We'll take the win that this would be in the bill, that you would agree U.S. citizens can't be deported. They voted to allow Donald Trump to deport U.S. citizens.
Okay. Now you watched the video and you heard what they said. They said the Republicans voted to give Donald Trump the ability to deport U.S. citizens. Now, we're going to use AI to fact check these people. Now, the first prompt that I entered into the AI, because I got curious, so the first prompt that I entered was, Jasmine Crockett made a video with Eric Swalwell saying the Republicans voted to allow the deportation of U.S. citizens. Is this true? The AI replied, the claim made in that video is more a matter of political rhetoric than a statement of legal fact. Then it breaks down the nuance. First, it tells you what actually happened. It says, in a recent House Judiciary Committee session, Republicans voted against an amendment that would have explicitly barred immigration and custom enforcements from using federal funds to detain and deport U.S. citizens. This was the Democrats sought to add an amendment to a bill, and in that amendment it said that ICE would not be able to use federal funds to detain and deport United States of American citizens. Now, this is a moot point. The whole amendment is irrelevant because you can't deport United States of America citizens, right? And it goes on to say, when Representative Crockett and Representative Swalwell described the vote as giving Trump the legal ability to deport U.S. citizens, what they were emphasizing is that rejecting the amendment meant there were no new statutory barriers being created against such actions. However, this vote did not create new deportation powers for the executive branch. It merely maintained the status quo. And that status quo is being the legal protections under the Constitution, particularly the 14th Amendment, right? U.S. citizens cannot be deported simply at the whim of law enforcement, regardless of how federal funds are used. So, like I said, the whole amendment itself was a moot point. It was irrelevant to be introduced in the first point. It was really asinine of them to even try to do this, right? So once again, they're using political rhetoric to lie to you and ultimately to fearmonger you and I guess to give them more power or whatnot. But what they stated in the video isn't true. And I'm going to go ahead to a couple more spots and we really going to nail this down to let you know what they really feel about your level of intelligence. It says the political framing. When Crockett and Swalwell use language like giving Trump the ability, they are employing strong rhetoric to criticize a partisan decision. This framing is intended to signal that the vote has dangerous implications. However, legally speaking, no new authority was granted that bypasses the constitutional rights of U.S. citizens. It's a contentious way to describe the vote rather than a literal change in deportation policies. Right? In summary, while the video portrays the Republicans' vote as a license for Trump to deport U.S. citizens, the reality is that the vote only rejected an amendment designed to add a layer of protection. See, like I said, the whole amendment itself was irrelevant, right? Right? So the next prompt that I gave AI, because I really want to nail this thing down, right? So I added another prompt. The next prompt I added was, so when they say Republicans voted to deport United States citizens, that wasn't true. The AI responded, that's right. The statement is misleading. The Republicans didn't vote to give Trump any new power to deport U.S. citizens. What happened was a vote against an amendment that would have explicitly barred federal funds from being used by ICE to detain and deport U.S. citizens. Like I said before, is irrelevant because ICE can't detain and deport U.S. citizens due to the 14th Amendment in the Constitution, right? So let's go on a little bit more. So in short, while some may rhetorically claim that the Republicans voted to deport U.S. citizens, the actual legislative action did not strip U.S. citizens of their protections or confer sweeping new powers on any administration. The controversy stems primarily from how this vote is framed by different political actors, rather than any substantive change in law. Okay, so I asked one more prompt. I gave the AI one more prompt. So I said, so the video in question would be misinformation. AI replied, yes. If the video claims that Republicans gave Trump new powers to deport U.S. citizens, that would be a misleading statement and can be considered misinformation. Now, I want you to really think for a minute. What would give them the confidence to get in front of a camera and post all over their social media a bald-faced lie? What gives them that confidence? Is they think that you wouldn't fact check them? Do they think that you're so emotionally wrapped up that you wouldn't go to see if it was true? Do they think that you just blindly trust them? Yeah, hey, I don't trust these people as far as I can throw them, and I ain't that strong. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, ladies and gentlemen, when Representative Jasmine Crockett and Representative Eric Swalwell got in front of the camera and told you that the Republicans have voted to give Donald Trump the ability to deport U.S. citizens, they were lying. It's not true. They are liars. I'm trying to tell y'all, this matrix is real. This matrix is real. I keep trying to tell y'all, you better do your due diligence. Don't just accept anything these people say at face value, because there is a good chance, more than not, that these people are lying to you. Because we live in the matrix, brothers and sisters. And this here is the Matrix Reveal. Y'all take care.